Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, just rushing to get in position here and to do something that I've never done before, which is read people's comments. And this microphone's way out of position, so bear with me for just a moment while I try to get everything settled. First of all, can I be heard? This is going to be in the Discord chat, just the normal Discord chat for the folks who want to communicate with me there. Can I be heard? And once again, I do apologize for all this craziness. It is indeed nuts. What's going on today, trying to get this looking right? I can be heard. Yes, fantastic. So welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody is having a good Valentine's Day. And dear God, thank you for showing up to this channel, my humble channel, on Valentine's Day, where I am going to be giving out some Valentines for the first time ever. I don't have a special person in my life right now. It's so sad. So as a result, I'm going to be giving out some Valentines to people who are less than enthusiastic about my channel. Because I am, really grateful to them. They kind of put me in my place. Some of them actually really do point out some legitimate mistakes that I make, and that's a very good thing. I certainly want to be kept honest. And then some of them just, really, have some quality stuff to say about me. And I've never really shared any of this. And so I'm going to be actually discovering a lot of this with you, because I'm going to be pulling up some videos where I have a lot of thumbs down, and I'm going to see exactly what these folks have to say and see what my response is. Now, in general, these things kind of fall into a number of categories. Some of them fall into the category of "you suck," and that's about all they have to say, or something, along those lines. It'd be nice to know exactly why I suck, but still, people have limited amounts of time in their day. So, if they want to type out 2 words and that's all they have time for, that's great. Although it doesn't do me a hell of a lot of good. Then there are people who, criticize what I have to say. There are those who like to say, if you go ahead and start your own rocket company. That is probably the most common criticism that I get. I just saw a super chat, by the way. Thank you so much. Just so you know, every dime that I raise out of what's going on today is going to be taking me to Boca Chica. I'm going to Houston. I'm going to tour the Space Center there, and I'm going to Boca Chica. I may not see a launch, but I'm at least going to live stream from there, and I'm going to, show you as much exclusive, footage and, shots, whatever I can possibly get there that isn't commonly shared, maybe some shots of SN11, that sort of thing. Just get you as much information as I can. So anything I get out of Super Chats today or Patreon or wherever you guys want to support me, I'll be going to Houston and from there to Boca Chica, which is about a 6-hour drive, actually. But I wanted to make sure to go to the Houston Space Center as well. There's a Falcon 9 there, as a matter of fact. The only Falcon 9 that's on public display is at the Houston Space Center, so I'm going to be sharing that with you as well. It's kind of cool that NASA has a Falcon 9 on display there. It kind of shows that they're really starting to get with the whole program when it comes to private space, that sort of thing. So that's what's going on today, and I'll be giving out my little Valentines here to people who have that to say. So first of all, I want to respond really quick because so many people have said this: start your own damn rocket company, and then you can say something, you come up with your own ideas, that sort of thing. Well, the answer to what I have to say with all that is start your own damn YouTube channel and go ahead and express your opinions there if it's so easy. If it's so easy for you to express your opinions here on on my comment board, then start your own damn channel and express your own damn opinions there if it's such an easy task. I mean, I go through a lot of research before I say what I have to say. I am wrong sometimes. I do make my share of mistakes, but nevertheless, I do my best to try to, to be as fair as I possibly can and as detailed as I possibly can when I go on my rants, when I get annoyed with somebody, regardless of who it is, Boeing or Blue Origin or even SpaceX. I try to, research this as much as I possibly can before I get going on that. So, that's one answer that I might have as far as that's concerned. And the other answer, of course, is give me a few $1 billion and I'll be happy to get started with a rocket company of my own and hire some good talent for it. But at the same time, I don't think we really need another rocket company. What we need is for the rocket companies that we have right now to do better. And even Elon himself recently admitted that there was a mistake made with SN9. He said we were too dumb. He flat out said it on Twitter. We should have, fired all 3 engines on the landing and cut out one immediately, just, once we were sure all 3 were working. Maybe we could have landed that way, Another super chat just popped up. Thank you so much. I've got a lot of moderators who are going to help me share those, so I'm going to try to catch up with this. Keep doing what you're doing, says Chris Moll. Thank you so much for those, for the £5 you just gave me. Really, really did appreciate that. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Is it in the Q&A? Oh, all super chats are going to be in the Q&A. Somebody just told me, hey, you're the moderators, you're in charge, so that is fine by me. I am switching over to the live stream Q&A. Timothy Alpez, thank you so much, a longtime supporter of my channel, with $5. Thank you so much for that. So once again, thanks. Anything I raise from today, once again, is going to take the Angry Astronaut to Boca Chica and to Houston so that, we can hopefully share a launch with you. But once again, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be there exactly when SN10 takes off. As we all know, with the FAA and everything else, it's hard to do, but I do promise to bring back a lot of quality content for you folks in exchange for helping me out with this. And once again, certainly nobody's obligated to be helping me out with doing this. I can manage it myself, but any help would certainly be appreciated. Okay, so now that I've kind of talked about some of the general ones, I just got a comment. And by the way, I'm not going to be calling these people out by name. Oh, another super chat just popped up. Thank you very much. I'm not going to call these people out by name. Some people, when they're reading hate mail and that sort of thing, they call out people's tags, their IDs, that sort of thing. I'm not going to do that because I don't like telling my followers, my subscribers who said these things, and then maybe even no matter what I say, they may get a bunch of negative comments. I'm just not into that. But here's somebody who just I will use just the initials SM. I hate people just pretending to be angry. Part of this is a persona. I will agree. I certainly, the Angry Astronaut, I'm not constantly angry about things, but let me tell you something. Some things really do piss me off, and there are moments when I get pissed off on, my rants where I really am aggravated about things. Things like what happened with the 2 space shuttles that we launched and the 14 brave people who died needlessly as a result of mistakes that were made, avoidable mistakes during that time. People who I think were brave and happy to risk their lives and happy to be sacrificed for exploring space, but at the same time didn't have to die. Those are times when I get really pissed off, genuinely pissed off. So maybe sometimes I'm pretending to be angry, but sometimes I'm damn genuine about it. So in any event, but Nevertheless, you did call me out accurately that, I'm not actually really angry sometimes. So I'm going to say that I relish you, and you probably can't read this, but these are these nice little Valentines that I picked up recently, and so I relish you. Very much indeed. So thank you so much on this Valentine's Day for calling me out. Okay, let's see here. Let's find some other ones. Okay. Let's see. So hard not to leave a comment on his channel. I'm curious as to what that exactly meant. Okay. This would be calling out a specific video a little too specifically. The Angry Astronaut is to the space industry like Jim Sterling is to the video game industry. Is that a compliment? I'm actually don't know who Jim Sterling is. So I'm not gonna. It's tough actually sometimes to find some of this stuff. It's so many people are so incredibly, so incredibly polite when it comes right down to it. Okay. This guy doesn't know the difference between weakest point and weak point. Okay. There's actually a reply on this. Let's see exactly what that is. Somebody else says true. Oh, okay. I'm not exactly sure what that, because I know what video I'm pulling this up on. This is MZ, by the way. So just for the benefit of confusing the hell out of me, thank you very much for doing that. And you are totally grape for doing that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you confusing me with this strange comment. But in any event, okay, so there's enough of that. Okay, let's see. Where's some other ones that are, I would assume I've got over 1,000 thumbs down on this video. I would assume that there would be a lot more people who'd be hating the hell out of me on this particular one. I just kind of wanted to be spontaneous about this. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So I am the real angry person. Well, thank you so much for saying that. I actually do appreciate that particular comment. I can definitely take on that. All right. Wow. So many positive ones. This is one I expected to have a ton of negative ones, just because there's over 1,000 thumbs down, and yet at the same time, it's just crazy as hell. I don't quite get that, but at the same time, it's just everybody's saying very nice, blah blah blah. This is really strange. Somebody saying they apologize and they got the Angry Astronaut all wrong. Wow, too much. Okay. Well, at the same time, that's not really a hater comment. That's somebody who made a justifiable point, and I really don't want to be bad about that. Okay. Metric units would be nice. That's something that comes up a fair amount. I'm not going to call that a hater comment. It's just a criticism that I tend to get. I go back and forth between this depending on the circumstances. Some articles are written exclusively for American audiences, and so they use pounds and feet and inches and all that kind of stuff, and others are they try to be more universal about it, and I try to use meters, kilometers, that sort of thing, but I don't use it that way all the time. I'm not consistent in the way I do it, and that's just based pretty much exclusively on the articles that I use. So once again, does that qualify for a Valentine? It doesn't, because it's really not really not big on that. Here's somebody who's saying that there's going to be they're criticizing what I'm saying, and there's going to be 1,000 passengers on the Starship. Is this somebody who was like smoking something or something like that? I'm not really sure about this particular comment. Perhaps English is not their first language, but at the same time, 1,000 passengers on the Starship. Yes, I would agree. It's going to be like standing in a sardine can or something along those lines. But at the same time, oh dear Lord, that's a curious one. So once again, I'm not going to throw a Valentine hater on that one just because it could be this person didn't English wasn't the first language and they could have just made the mistake as far as that's concerned. Wow, so many positive things. Thank you so much, guys. I swear I kind of avoided this video because it had over 1,000 thumbs down. Like I said, it had over 7,000 thumbs up, but I thought for sure there would be lots of people hating on me with over 1,000 thumbs down. But at the same time, I really don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. Trolls has commented the 1 year after. Okay. Although you're not really a troll if you don't slam me in some way. So I can't exactly say that maybe you're commenting about somebody else, I guess. But at the same time, geez, a lot of people say keeping it real. Thank you. Wow, so many nice people here. Even on a video that I have so many thumbs down, I thought for sure. Do we have another? Okay. All right, let's see. Keeping it going here. I can't believe how many people are just saying nice things here. Well, thank you so much for all that. Let me catch up with some of these super chats real quick while I'm at it. I feel like I've been neglecting you folks. SciTech rather saying I enjoy spacing out your content. Garden Maddox, wow, thank you so much for that super chat. Have a safe trip. DB Crypto, thank you so much for that. Hate your glasses, but love your content. Well, yes, a lot of people hate these glasses. There's no question about that. Should I give you a Valentine for that? You know what? Even though I would say that you're not a hater at all, I would say I'm just going to use one of these just for fun. Let's say Taco Bout Awesome. Taco Bout Awesome. Yeah, you were definitely awesome with that super chat. Thank you so much. Andrew King, 10 quid. Thank you so much. Been with you from the start. Never miss a word you put out there. Wow, that's an incredible compliment. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Jeez, wow, amazing stuff. Thank you, everybody, for doing this. Yeah, lots of love instead of a lot of anger. It is so weird. I didn't expect this on this particular video. Maybe I should switch, but then it's just there's a lot of other videos that have fewer thumbs down, way fewer. So I figure it's going to be even tougher to get that. Okay, let's keep it here. Okay, commenting for the algorithm. Well, thank you very much. All right, let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here's somebody, and I'm not going to call out who this individual is, but it's somebody who really, really dislikes the hell out of me. So I'm just going to say this person is making a comment and his initials are TFAC. The blank, 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 which is the name of this person, for the win. Let's fucking go, he says. And I'm not monetizing this, so, you know, or who knows, maybe that negates my super chats. But that's what he said. So no doubt, given that he is in big, bold caps calling out the person that that definitely hates me the most. I would definitely call that a hater. Although I'm not really sure what you're basing that on, as to, because I don't see any reason as to, because this person actually calls out my arguments and things that I have to say, and just saying that he won for reasons that don't really have to be explained. So that having been said, you are totally grape for being so uninformative with your comment. So there you go. There's your Valentine for the day. Okay. There's another one. I honestly have no idea what he's talking about. Wish I did. Okay. I'm not sure about that whole thing, but anyway, not really good enough to justify that. Okay, but let's see here. You're a wonderful person. Well, thank you so much. That's nice, Bryce, who made that comment, by the way. That was very, very nice of you indeed. Okay, let's try to keep this going. Okay, boy, what the heck? I could have sworn that this was going to have a lot more. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Okay, what the hell? All right. I'm really trying to figure this out. All right, that's come on. There's got to be something else. Oh yeah. Okay, so no, I would say that that's not even as much of an issue too. But still, somebody was saying that the one of the problems of the Starship is going to be the immense amount of noise that it's going to put out. I do agree that that's going to be a tremendous amount of noise, and that launching it from Boca Chica is probably not going to be a thing that you can do. But at the same time, I really don't see why you would comment about that, because I didn't even mention it as being a positive or a negative. So once again, I'm not exactly sure if these people are paying attention, or like I say, if they just don't speak a lot about if they don't, English isn't their first language, that sort of thing, or if they just happen to be under the influence of something. Not too sure, but in any event, okay, let's try to keep it going. Boy, thanks a lot. So many positives. Okay, there's got to be something here. There's got to be. I know there's got to be. Okay. All right. A lot of people who are making some amusing comments that I can't really repeat. Even I can't repeat some of these. Somebody commenting about audio, a lot of that. I can't call that a hater comment. I've had audio problems since the beginning of this channel. I may be having audio problems right now. I might be too loud for you guys. I really have no idea. But at the same time, that does seem to be what's going on. A lot of people who just threw on comments for the sake of improving the algorithm. I have over 100,000 views on this video, by the way. That's why I thought for sure that I was going to have an impact. Okay. I really don't get it. Yeah, it's a lot of people just seem to be coming out supporting me. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. I guess I should have looked a lot more thoroughly. Another one. Can I use metric units like in scientific videos? Well, yeah. Once again, this was in using articles that were using a lot of what are they called, imperial units, that sort of thing. So. Oh, well, what can you do? What can you do about that? Geez, I cannot believe it with all of that. And it's that we wouldn't have that. So I'm just going to bring up some other things that are commonly said about me, that tend to annoy the hell out of me. One thing that's really commonly said that a lot of people commonly say is you should do more. You should do your research. You should do more research. I find that to be incredibly annoying. Those of you who are familiar with my work know that I link scholarly articles in just about every video that I put out. I research the hell out of what I do. Now, granted, if you're talking about some kind of nuclear drive where there's a lot of controversy over whether or not it's actually possible, and one nuclear physicist says that it is, and another nuclear physicist says that it isn't, and the people who say that it isn't says you haven't done your research or something, that just annoys the shit out of me. It really does. I mean, clearly, if you know that much about the topic, then you know that I have researched something on the topic in order to be able to say what I'm saying about the technology involved. So I really don't get it. And at the same time, I'll tell you something. This isn't to excuse myself, but I'm trying to research things on botany, exobiology, astrophysics, rocket science. I mean, my God, physics, nuclear engineering. I could go on and on all the different things that I cover in my videos. If anybody expects me to be an expert on all this stuff and to be 100% right all the time, they're definitely smoking something bad because it is absurd. Absolutely absurd to think that anyone would be that accurate about it. And by the way, there are some people who are incredibly rude, and I'm just going to call them out because I love this channel, to my friends at To the Future, people who are putting out just really rude videos about them from time to time. I'm not going to say who, but at the same time, they are wonderful people at To the Future. Yeah, maybe they get some stuff wrong as often as I do, or maybe less often than I do. But at the same time, their hearts are in the right place. And to insult them the way that some folks do is absolutely deplorable. And that's something that really gets my dander up. So in any event, I will, for To the Future, I'm going to put out a Valentine for them. I find you so appealing. You are indeed so appealing to the future. Thank you so much. And by the way, I'm working on a collaborative video with them right now. So by all means, let's. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out because it's a 4-part series about Martian colonization, and we're really going in depth on it. Okay, I'm going to check back with some of the comments and super chats real quick because I have a feeling that I have fallen behind. DB Crypto, thank you so much, and I should do more scholarly research. Yes, maybe I should. Okay, Ricker, thank you so much, Ricker. I really do appreciate it. Some sort of link, which I will look up a little bit later. Let's see, what else is going on? My real identity is Jack Nicholson. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I won't be changing. Anybody who's Jordy Knott, thank you so much for saying that. I won't be changing at all. I am grateful for the supporters that I've had. This channel has grown so rapidly, and that is just a fantastic thing. So thank you so much for everybody for your support. You guys have just been amazing. So I'll tell you, it is great. Somebody just said go for blood on this particular remark here. Yeah, that was indeed the case. So yeah, I was going for blood on this video. So that's why I expected a lot more angry comments and haters, but it's just not the case. It's very, very strange. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? There's got to be something else here. There's got to be. Okay, here's one. Let's see. Okay. Well, I wouldn't call this a hater. Somebody who was talking about, I talk about how, the gravity issues aren't going to be as extreme as things are talked about with microgravity, and, during a long journey to Mars, etc. This is something that is brought out a lot and something that I get angry about from time to time, just because of the examples of astronauts who do endure that, and they do go through a lot of discomfort. But once again, one thing that we are forgetting about the people who are taking a 6-month trip to Mars is they are going, first of all, 6 months, not a year like some of these other people. And number two, they're getting out in 1/3 gravity, not a full G. Adapting to 1/3 gravity, in my opinion, and once again, we can't say this for certain, but adapting to 1/3 gravity after a 6-month journey is going to be a lot easier. Now, I will say for certain that the poor people who have to come back, the ones who go there for 2 years, the ones who spend 6 months in microgravity, 2 years in 1/3 gravity, or a year and a half, and then 6 more months in microgravity, it's going to be hell on them, definitely. But for people who go to colonize Mars, 6 months in microgravity, then 1/3 G after that, not as bad in my opinion. I think that they'll be able to adapt to that. And one example I bring up a lot is Christina Koch, and the fact that she was able to adapt and be in a position to where she could stand on her own 2 feet unaided within 24 hours of getting out of the Soyuz capsule in Kazakhstan, and she was flown in. Now, obviously, she's young and healthy, but I think we're going to need young, healthy people in order to be able, or at least healthy people in good shape, people who are going to be able to endure that sort of thing in order to go to Mars. So I do think that this is an overblown consideration. Now, granted, if we can do some sort of artificial gravity going to Mars, then, more power to us, I suppose. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be something that's really going to stop it. We'll keep her going here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's very odd. I really didn't expect this. At the same time, it's really too much. Okay, and by the way, whoever this one person, the one real big hater that I've got, he can't stop talking about me, just so you know. So that's why I expected to see a lot of comments from his supporters, but it's not. It's just not happening. It is very strange indeed. Okay, let's see here. I'll tell you, it's crazy stuff about that. Some people criticizing the silica aerogel dome idea. I do believe that this is a very solid concept. I really think that it's something that's definitely going to work. Obviously, it's going to have to be adapted for use on Mars, but at the same time, I think silica aerogel has been researched quite thoroughly by people a lot smarter than me in terms of using it for atmospheric domes on Mars and that sort of thing. It provides radiation protection. It provides, on warm days on Mars, it provides enough heat without having to have any additional heat from life support in order to heat a colony. Amazing. On Mars, you could actually be self-heating on some days without any assistance from life support, which is a huge savings in energy. So I am very certain about silica aerogel. Once again, do I call that a hater comment? No. It's just somebody who's questioning me, which is fine. By all means, question me. So that's definitely fine. Oh, somebody said thank you for doing this in such a calm and reasonable manner. Oh my, that's almost an insult in itself. But I guess I am calm a lot of the time. I'm not as angry as I should be. So yeah, that is a bit much. Okay, let's keep it going. Wow, jeez Louise. It just goes on and on and on. Okay. All right, let's see. Just crazy. Yep, I thought for sure that this was going to be an issue, that this was going to be a one that was just going to be packed with people. But at the same time, I'm just going to go ahead and start talking about some of the positive comments. Video was informative the first 4 minutes. This is one that I get a lot. And by the way, I think this is a legitimate criticism that my intros are too long. And yeah, I agree with that. I've been trying to condense it to about 3 minutes at most, maybe 2.5 before I go into my introductory comments. I don't know. What can I say? I run off at the mouth a lot. Oh, a super chat just came up. Thank you so much for helping me out. So yeah, that's something that comes up quite a lot. And my videos are very long. Everybody's noticed that. One thing that I think is probably obvious, but I want to be totally clear about this. I ad lib everything I do, except when I'm quoting directly from articles. I don't have a script. I've actually been criticized by this by people who really like my channel, and they're probably right, but I ad lib everything. And that's because I'm a stage actor for community theater. Ad libbing is something that I have a lot of experience with, and so as a result, it's something that I felt would be a strength in terms of making these videos. So I don't have pre-made scripts at all. The only time I ever read off of anything is when I'm quoting a study or something, and I'll usually say quote before I do that. So that is one reason, by the way, why I can seem a little ragged, a little stumbling. And I'm going back to some super chats here. Bob saying, stay angry about space. Absolutely. Gary Atano, thank you so much. Save links to legit criticisms, interesting hater posts. Maybe so. Cortex, thank you so much for the 10 quid, by the way. Yeah, it's definitely, I really just want to make sure that the posts that people are not going to get called out, that they aren't going to get harassed by anybody. I don't like identifying people. I really enjoy your role in As Good as It Gets. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm actually very honored to get that comment. Pulse Chat, $5. Thank you so much. Give them sticks, or be American or be gone. All right, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, sometimes there's a song actually called "I Will Never Go Metric," but I think that just comes from a frustrated person who couldn't figure out metric. So I do my best to be both. Okay, so in any event, I need to find something to get pissed off about. I've been trying my best to find people who've just been getting me angry, and yet at the same time, just all of these super nice comments. I just really don't know what else is it. Nicely done. You said what needed to be said. My God, just found your channel, subscribe, and so I'm a subscriber now. Thanks for setting things straight. Wow, respect for not wanting to go. Wow, that's thank you so much for that. I'm not going to be too specific about that one because it might identify somebody, which I don't really want to do. Okay, music too loud. Yeah, I've had some issues with that over time, and that's something I commonly get comments about, and I kind of go back and forth a little bit on that situation. Okay, let's see here. What the heck is going on? Didn't pay attention. Yeah, I was criticizing some stuff, and then someone said they didn't go to math class. So what can I say? Another supporting comment. Crazy stuff. Excellent job. Wow, geez Louise. Thank you so much once again. Someone standing up. Just all of these. It is crazy about all of this. So yeah, I do get a beef with things. Somebody makes a mention about that. I absolutely do get a beef, and everybody knows this. So I guess since I'm not running across as many comments as I like, it's going to be easy to get pissed off. There are Blue Origin supporters out there. That's one thing I do know. And maybe I should have pulled up one of their videos instead. There are Blue Origin supporters who express extreme disdain for what I have to say and say, you're just going out and saying negative things to say negative things, and I hate haters and blah, blah, blah. You know something? That just irritates the hell out of me too. Blue Origin has an indefensible position. Indefensible. They've been around for 20 years now. 20 damn years with the richest guy on the planet supporting them. I don't know how many times I have to say this, and they still have not gotten anything into orbit. Nothing at all. By way of comparison, Rocket Lab and Virgin Orbit, not Virgin Galactic, but Virgin Orbit, which the idea for Virgin Orbit got started in 2011. The company itself was not created until a couple years later, and they just got things into orbit as well. Blue Origin, zip. What the hell? What is the excuse? There is no excuse. Absolutely not. You have all these resources. You have all this expertise. Why are you not in orbit yet? If you have these huge, massive goals of exporting man's industry off the planet in order to save the planet from pollution and destruction or whatever the hell you're saying you want to do, then you need to be aggressive with what you're doing. You need to move faster, and you're not. You're simply not. And not only that, when you do move, when you put in a bid on a lunar lander, you make something that is 2/3 non-reusable, and you make something that has a dangerous ladder on it, a feature that is dangerous to astronauts, dangerous for EVAs, almost impossible to navigate if somebody got injured and you needed to drag them up the ladder. You guys have heard all of this before. Why the hell doesn't this sink in with Blue Origin supporters? They should be even more angry than I am. If this is an organization that they support, a company that they support, then they should be even angrier at their company for not giving them something to cheer about. What do they have to cheer about? New Shepard going up in a suborbital flight for the 75th time or whatever they've done, still with no passengers on board, whereas Virgin Galactic has at least had the guts to send up people. Tragically, one person was killed, and that is very unfortunate and a terrible disaster. But at the same time, the other employees they sent up went up again without hesitation and have come down just fine. Now, they've had their struggles, they really have, but they've at least been trying to overcome them, and they've been sending human beings up on this and accepting the dangers. Blue Origin is not, and one person did comment about that. Is that then what quantifies a worthy company to you? One that's willing to take risks with people's lives? Well, actually, that is the case. Yes, because NASA takes chances with people's lives every time they put somebody on top of a flying bomb. Every time they do that, they are risking people's lives. But you know what? Do you think these astronauts are being forced to do it? Do you think that they're being compelled? No, they're competing for it. They're desperate for the opportunity to have this chance to go up. Now, granted, I'm going to hold NASA responsible for any oversights, any easily correctable mistakes that they could make. I'm going to hold their feet to the fire on that. But at the same time, if you want to explore space, if you want to put human beings into space, then it couldn't get any more simpler. Put human beings into space, for God's sake. And they haven't done it yet, not once. Instead, we've got Mannequin Skywalker. That's the closest they've come to it. It's absurd, absolutely absurd, and I'm not going to change my position on Blue Origin until they actually do something. And now that Jeff Bezos has actually stepped down from Amazon and is focusing on this company, perhaps something is going to change. If it does, I will be the first to jump on camera and say good for you. But until that time, screw you guys. Plain and simple. So now that I have spouted all of that, boy, I went and threw my Valentines everywhere during that rant. But I felt that was actually quite genuine. I really don't understand people who vehemently defend Blue Origin. But because you gave me an opportunity to get angry, which I like to do sometimes. I like to feel passionate about things. I relish you. Yes, that's another one of those. Happy friggin' Valentine's Day, and you go on supporting Blue Origin for all the good it's going to do you until something good happens. Until they actually accomplish something, and I hope it happens for you someday, because so far it really hasn't. And dear God, I hope the first thing that comes through isn't Blue Origin winning the lunar lander competition. If that happens, that is going to be a tragedy rather than an accomplishment. So in any event, what can I say? Okay. So yeah, got a little pissed off about that, but what can I say? All right, what else can we do? All right, no. Thank you for making this video, dear. I'm so glad that people like you exist. Wow, what is all this stuff? Thank you so much, by the way, everybody. Thank you for all these nice comments. I really didn't expect all this on a video where I got 1,000 thumbs down. I know I keep saying that. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please throw a like on this. I would really appreciate it. And thank you for all the support I'm getting today, even though I haven't been able to, supply all of the support that I would really like to happen here. Okay, what else do we have here? Dear Lord, there's got to be something. Okay. A shout out to aquaponics. Absolutely, I like aquaponics as a way of supporting Martian colonists. I think that's one of the best ways because it'll keep fish in our diet and that sort of thing. Give us some diversity. And I've eaten aquaponic meals that were put out by charities that produce aquaponics, and it's a fantastic thing. So okay, let's see. All right, so oh God, there's got to be something else. You did this well, dear Lord. Come on, people. Somebody slam on me. Maybe I'll get somebody slamming me over here. Let's have a look real quick. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading on this stream right now. Drac Richard. Okay, there. Oh, geez. Oops. I just mentioned somebody. I can't remember. Huge fan. Love comment. Been a huge fan since he was featured by To the Future. Okay. In any event, yeah, let's go ahead and go back over here again real quick. 5 minutes break. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody was asking somebody else for a break here on this one. Space News Pod. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Space News Pod, for supporting me. We always support each other, but thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate that. If there is no hate, tell us how Marcus tore me a new one. Marcus. Okay, somebody's going to have to clear me on that one. Jeff is afraid of lawsuits. I have an Alexa. It always deflects any questions, so the company can't be sued. Okay, so Bruden62 is watching and says who Marcus is. Oh, Marcus. Okay. I'm not going to say who else that is. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm just going to simply say that somebody who's pretty prominent had a lot of negative things to say about one of my videos. Had actually absolutely nothing positive to say whatsoever. Didn't say it publicly, though. So I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But at the same time, somebody did really rip one of my videos in a lot of respects, and I really couldn't understand why. I can say nothing positive to say. I was pretty surprised about that. But in any event, Abhishek Rai, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, thank you everybody for being so supportive, especially since I'm just not providing you with as much content as I would like. What is with all of this? Everybody's saying just thank you on all of this. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Okay, here's radiation. Oh, I love this one. Okay, here's somebody who's thinking that my comments about radiation, that I'm not respecting radiation enough, that sort of thing. All right, it has been demonstrated time and again, and there are radiation maps of Mars. You can pull them up. We have gotten readings that have been taken by the Curiosity rover over and over and over again recently, and it was very surprising to us when we discovered that the radiation levels where the Curiosity is much lower than it is in orbit around Mars, where the orbiters are far lower. And so we completely underestimated the amount of protection that the Martian atmosphere actually provides to people on the surface. Now, granted, somebody at the top of Olympus Mons is going to take a ton of radiation because there's almost no atmosphere up there. But people down in the Valles Marineris, or just at the Martian equivalent of sea level, they would have to be out on the surface just in a spacesuit for anywhere between 10 to 20 years to have a 5% chance of getting cancer by the end of their lifespan, by the amount of microsieverts that they would take during that time frame. If you don't believe me, just pull up a radiation map of Mars and it will show the annual amount of microsieverts, or the annual amount of Röntgens that someone's going, or REMS as they're sometimes called, that somebody's going to take on the surface of Mars. It is a completely overblown danger. And all of the designs that are made, by the way, for surface habitats on Mars that NASA has sponsored over and over again provide almost complete protection from Martian radiation, almost 100% protection. So as a result, the only time you would really be exposed to this radiation is when you're out on an EVA, which would at most be 1/3 of the time if you worked 8 hours a day outside, and probably not that often, actually. So really, the radiation is just a non-issue. A total non-issue. Now, does that mean that I think that a pregnant woman should go on an EVA on Mars? No, absolutely not. The impact of radiation on pregnancy is well known and is a well-known danger. So yeah, definitely that's something that's going to have to be kept in mind. But other than that, it's just an overblown threat, and there are many, many other real threats to Martian colonization that we should be focusing on more, which is one of the reasons why I'm so happy that the HOPE probe successfully made it into orbit, because it's going to tell us so much about these dust storms, which in my opinion are going to be a real threat to Martian colonization, not because of blocking out solar panels, but because of their electrostatic qualities and the fact that they're poisonous and so many other negative things about Martian dust storms. That's something we need to understand more thoroughly. And that's just one of a number of examples of dangers that Mars is going to represent to colonization. Now, does that mean that we can't colonize it? No, it just means that Mars is an alien world with alien dangers and things that we need to keep in mind. And we've got to stop clinging to these outdated concepts, to these outdated notions of what we think is going to be dangerous. Radiation, radiation, radiation. Look at Chernobyl. Look at, I mean, and Chernobyl gets subjected to insane amounts of radiation, 100 times at least what you get on Mars. And yet, animals obviously can, get tumors there. But at the same time, there are huge expanses of Chernobyl right in the vicinity of the reactor that show almost no radioactive residuals after the disaster. It's an overblown problem. So anyway, I guess anybody who has anything to say about that, and I've had a few comments about that, that has always kind of annoyed me. So what the hell? I'm gonna go ahead and throw up one for here. Taco Bout Awesome. Your completely awesome comments about radiation. I would say, stop making these comments about radiation. Stop saying this stuff over and over and over again. Lay off of this topic because it's distracting, and it's not valid. I would say that, but I won't, because it is so damn much fun to rip these comments apart on my videos. So much wonderful content that I can get out of it. So by all means, everybody, and this includes people in the scientific community, keep talking about the dangers of Martian radiation. Keep spewing that out as much as you like. You're going to give me content until I decide to retire. Okay, let's see here. Okay. What else do we have to say on this one? Dadgummit. Viva la Angry Astronaut. Wow, all these nice things I had to have to say. I really don't understand. I really don't. Excellent response, Angry Astronaut. Geez, it's weird. The effects of weightlessness on astronauts' digestive systems, reduce calorie burn in space, even with 2 hours a day of workouts. Starship crew can actually live on just 2 meals a day. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, they may not need as many calories. That's certainly something to consider when we're traveling. People who talk about the amount of food that's going to be required during the journeys, and a 6-month journey, 100 people. And by the way, I think it should be closer to 50 people who go rather than 100 or so. The number of meals that somebody needs, or the amount of calories that they require, and comparing it to astronauts is not a valid comparison, because passengers on the Starship are not going to be busting their asses the way that astronauts have to do. Astronauts not only work out all the time, which by the way colonists would have to do as well, but they also have to be constantly maintaining the station and constantly doing science at the same time. They have very little private time to themselves. I'm not going to say colonists are going to be completely, inert, but at the same time, they're not going to work nearly as hard as astronauts do, and they're not going to require the same kind of calorie count. So I just don't think that that the huge number of meals that people talk about for a 6-month journey is going to be a necessity. Although I still advocate better forms of propulsion to get people there faster, so that we need fewer supplies in order to get to Mars in time. I think that would be a good thing. Okay, let's have a look. Anything else? Commenting for the sake of commenting, great channel. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. At least sustainable for, I'll tell you. Just so it's about time someone takes a stance. It's just nuts. It is too much. The number of really nice, or at least polite comments. I'll tell you, the space people who are into space, people who support space, in this the whole space channel thing, they're just a different breed of YouTuber. They really are, and YouTube viewer. These are people who just 99% of the time, even if they're going to make a criticism, they do it in a polite fashion, or they do it in a way that you can respect, as opposed to other channels where just people start spewing cuss words at at random. Not that I have a problem with cuss words, obviously, but have some other content with it. Okay, so I'm going back here real quick. All right, let's see here. If you made private. Thanks very much, Bruden62, what you just said. Gary Itano, $5. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Any way to harvest Mars dust storm energy? I would say that it's going to be very difficult because there isn't a lot of energy in the dust storm because there isn't a lot of atmosphere there. You would barely feel it on your suit, or even if you had bare skin, which you wouldn't, but you would barely feel the wind at all. So there isn't actually a lot of energy in the storm per se. It's just the dust and the presence of huge amounts of dust that really is the problem. Now, perchlorates, the Martian regolith, that's something that we can actually make use of in a number of different ways, actually, because perchlorates, for one thing, can be metabolized by types of bacteria here on Earth, and oxygen used as a byproduct. I have mentioned this a number of times, but actually a proof of concept piece of technology was put out. You can look it up, that used enzymes from these bacteria as an emergency oxygen supply for astronauts. It's a very cool concept. An hour's worth of emergency oxygen by just taking a few kilograms of the Martian regolith and having those bacterial enzymes eat up the perchlorates and produce the oxygen as a byproduct. So that is definitely something we can use perchlorates for, if we bring the bacteria with us. Now, I personally think, given that there's more oxygen in the Martian atmosphere than we thought there could be, that there are bacteria there now that are eating those perchlorates. I think that they're naturally there, and that's why that oxygen is present. And all we have to do is help them along, give them nutrients in order to become more prolific, reproduce more, that sort of thing, and they can produce a lot of oxygen for us. So that is one way to use the dust storm, or rather the dust itself and the perchlorates themselves to help out. It's definitely a way of making it. Oh, rip about Boeing. Absolutely, Jordy, let's do that. By the way, just got one. Keller Daniel super chat. Thank you so much. So yeah, may as well rip on Boeing. I'm gonna keep a special, if I can find one here. Well, boy, I'm already running out. Here we go. Special Valentine for Boeing. Okay, you sons of bitches. Here's definitely something that I've got to say about this. You guys have so much money at this point. Your annual financials are easily available online. Your profit margins for your space and military side of your company is insane. The billions of dollars that you pull in. And yet all of these mistakes that you've made, all of these errors that you've made that frankly are going to put astronauts' lives at risk, quite potentially, given what happened with Starliner. Come on. What is wrong with you people? And frankly, Boeing needs to be working more on trying to catch up with what everybody else is doing. And I made a video about trying to fix SLS. At the very least, they should be trying to find a way of recovering those Aerojet Rocketdyne engines, those shuttle, tested engines that they're going to be using for the SLS, and bring them back and save the incredible amount of money that's going to be saved with every flight if we could just save those engines alone. And by the way, United Launch Alliance is figuring out a way of doing this. Why can't Boeing? That's just one simple thing that they could do, and yet they're not doing it. And I wonder why. Could it have something to do with the fact that you just got all the money you asked for SLS rockets, not only now, but in the future? Congress completely funded the SLS all the way through the Artemis program, but did not fund human landing, did not fund HLS. Are you kidding me? So we're going to have a rocket that's capable of sending the Orion to orbit the moon, or to dock with the Lunar Gateway and not land on the moon. What? What kind of plan is this? And yet, that's exactly the situation we have right now. We have a rocket that's completely funded and has chewed up insane amounts of NASA's very limited budget, that's getting immense amounts of support from Congress. And yet, at the same time, we don't have a human landing system that's being fully funded. Gee, I wonder if Boeing had gotten their human landing system in the mix as one of the three choices from NASA. I wonder if Congress would have funded the human landing system at that point. I kind of think they would have. What do you guys think? So in any event, a very special one. Boeing, you are totally great, because you are going to give me material to bitch about for years to come, as you and your greed and the lobbyists that you have in Congress and everything else that you guys do to sabotage the American space program continues to cause problems for our future efforts to explore the solar system and put all the pressure on SpaceX. All the pressure. It's ridiculous. So this is a very special one for you guys at the very top here, actually out of everybody's sight. What can I say? You don't even deserve to be looked at, but there's one for Boeing. So there you go. There's a fun rant for everybody. Oh wow, I've already gone over an hour, but you know what? I'm having fun. I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Please like and subscribe. And once again, just to reemphasize all of the Patreon support today, or not Patreon, Patreon support too, but all the super chats, all the Patreon support that I get today goes towards Boca Chica. And I'm leaving, by the way, at the end of this coming week on Friday, after all the bad weather goes through Texas. By the way, anybody in Texas, all the best. I hear you guys have some nasty ice storms coming your way, or maybe it's already there. So be careful. Be careful, everybody. All the best indeed. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'll tell you, just more comments that they're just positive at the same time. Okay, here's one. That comes up. People commenting about how it's going to take 8 or 9 months to get to Mars instead of 6, and really slamming on me when I argue on that particular point. The reason it takes a longer period of time for a probe to get to Mars, and by the way, the Hope probe got there in 6.5 months, and they launched straight from ground zero in Japan all the way up. So in any event, they had to escape Earth's gravity completely, and yet still got to Mars in 6.5 months. But I digress. For those who say it's going to take longer than 6 months, and all of our probes that have gone there that take 7, 8 months, that sort of thing, you are forgetting one important point. The vast majority of the Delta V required to get to Mars is what's required to get to low Earth orbit. The Starship is going to go to low Earth orbit and burn all of its fuel in the process, and then it's going to refuel. I feel like I'm talking down to people at this point, but anybody who just, believes this stuff, that it's going to take longer than 6 months, this has been very thoroughly studied at this point, guys, including by rocket scientists who aren't big fans of SpaceX. Zubrin, for example, who criticizes SpaceX all the time, he says that it's going to take 6 months, and he's right. Once you're in orbit, the Delta V required to get from Earth orbit all the way to Mars, especially if you're not applying any braking to get there. If you're not going into orbit, but you're just plunging straight into the atmosphere and using the atmosphere to reduce your speed, which is the current plan, and everybody knows that I have some problems with that, but nevertheless, you refuel in orbit and then you go. And with that little Delta V to overcome, 6 months is very doable with chemical rockets. Very, very doable. And anybody who, looks upon this and says that it's BS and says that Elon's lying about it or whatever, it's nonsense. There's very good science to back it up, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. It's all about gravity and delta V, plain and simple. And the less delta V you require to get to your destination, the faster you can get there with less fuel consumed. Easy calculation. So I really don't know what the difficulty is with that one. But anyway, okay. Oh, there's somebody from Texas. Ouija Lego, I hope you're doing okay. Ice and snow to come, and I know ice storms are terrible. I get those at the same time. We get a lot of those in South Carolina. So in any event, I hope for the best for you guys in Texas. Ice storms really suck. They take down power lines. They take trees through people's roofs, that sort of thing. Not a good thing. Okay, $10 super chat from Aaron Boyum. Thank you so much. I criticize SpaceX for having SN10 on the pad when SN9 blew. Come on, you praise SpaceX and living on the edge. You can't have it both ways. That pisses me off. Love the Angry Astronaut. Well, thank you very much for that. Yes, that is true. I will say that without hesitation. If I think there's something that SpaceX needs to be called out for, I will call them out. There's no question about that. Putting SN10 on the pad was an unwarranted gamble. It should not have been done. That took way too big of a risk, and it's entirely possible that a huge chunk of debris could have ripped straight through that very thin stainless steel like a hot knife through butter, and it would have ruined the whole damn thing. So it was just an unnecessary gamble. Have no idea why they did it, and I hope they don't do it again. And that's all I've got to say about that. And by the way, I wasn't the only one to criticize that. And I just feel that, everybody, I need to be fair about this stuff. Yes, I like SpaceX. Yes, I'm a SpaceX fan, but I'm not going to be unconditionally supportive of them, and I will never be unconditionally supportive of anybody because they don't deserve it. If they make a mistake, they got to be called out. People learn from their mistakes. Companies, scientists learn from their mistakes. They should make them as long as they learn from them and they correct them. So in any event, how long would a Venus-assisted flight take us a Starliner glitch? Roughly the same amount of time, from what I understand. There is a delta V bump that you would get from going past Venus, but it would be roughly the same from what I understand. The advantage that it would give you, however, is you could abort from Venus. It's been a long time since I released a video about this. If you went towards Venus, past the sun essentially, and then to Mars on the opposite side when it's on the opposite side of the sun. That would be roughly the same amount of time. But the difference is you could do a free return trajectory from Venus back to Earth in just a couple of months if something went wrong. If you had a problem during the journey, you could, like I say, free return trajectory around Venus and come back to Earth very swiftly. So that is an advantage of that's the main advantage of taking that route, on top of also perhaps dumping a few probes into the Venusian atmosphere and maybe finding some Venusian life while you're at it. So that would be definitely a thing. 630 people watching. My God, I just want to keep going. Thank you so much for watching on Valentine's Day. Dear Lord, please like, please subscribe. As I said before, any super chats, any support I'm getting is going towards taking me to Boca Chica. And I promise to bring you, and also to the Houston Space Center, where there's a Falcon 9 on display. The only Falcon 9 on public display, by the way, in a museum is at the Houston Space Center, and I'm going to go see both. So this is all in support of that. So thank you so much for all the support I've been getting thus far. I'm going to keep going for a few more minutes. I have to admit this this has been fun in spite of the fact that I've been, I don't know, I'm not going to say disappointed, but a little surprised that I haven't gotten more criticisms. Oh, here's one that I get a lot. I play your videos at 2 times speed. People complain a lot about the fact that I don't talk fast enough. Now, obviously, when I get on a rant, I start talking very swiftly. But at the same time, one thing there are 2 reasons. Number one, I am ad-libbing this stuff. So sometimes I have to, my thoughts get processed as I talk. But also, not everybody who's watching speaks English as their first language. Now, granted, they can have some subtitles and that sort of thing, but I want to kind of do this for the benefit of all of those people as well. People who may speak German or Romanian or Japanese or whatever as a first language, or Indian, Hindi, rather, not Indian. There's so many languages spoken in India. Sorry about that, guys. But anybody who doesn't speak, English as a first language, that's another reason why I think going slow is a positive thing. But for those of you who can't stand that and you have to play the videos at double speed, by all means do so. That doesn't get me mad. So in any event, okay. All right. Oh, somebody encouraging people to put thumbs down on a video. Okay, on one of my videos. Okay, I'm not sure why you're doing that, but okay, that's great. Not like you were. I guess maybe you were a little successful on this video, but not terribly successful on others. Oh. My Lord, somebody just made a comment here about that particular topic right here on this video. As a non-native English speaker, I really appreciate your slow-paced talking rate, and I really like your contents. Again, somebody who doesn't speak English as a first language, keep up and thanks. So again, I can't believe that popped up, but sure enough, somebody, I believe from the name here that this is an Italian person, from the way their tag is. But thank you so much. I have no idea if you're watching, but that's one of the reasons why I think that going a little slower is not a bad thing. Okay. New York Times posted an article saying that it would take more than 1,000,000 years to make something that would fly. Oh, that was the Wright brothers. Yeah, that's definitely something. So, okay, let's have a look back here just to see. Need more explosions, absolutely. Oh, Andre Figueras Roots, once again, I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese, but we in Brazil want you in Boca Chica. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Adam Mason, almost 10 quid. Thank you so much for that. Keep it angry, fella. Love the hard work. Absolutely, I will keep it going. I have no intention of stopping. This has been so much fun. I feel so blessed and so fortunate to be able to do what I love to do for a living, to be my own boss for a change. Never had this before, so thank you so much, everybody, for making this happen for me. Really, really fantastic. Okay, there's got to be something I can find here. Okay, somebody talking about the Mars Cycler, but that's more of an informative thing. I have no idea what you're talking about, so see ya. Okay, that's nice, I guess. Maybe English isn't your first language either. I don't know. Okay. No. Let's see. No. Somebody with a frown or an angry face, but once again, just not a lot of stuff. Dear Lord, I really don't understand. I really don't. Okay, just people saying nothing but nice things. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? All right. I'll go back and see if there's something else that folks might recommend that I would have to say. In any event, guys, I know that I haven't produce the kind of hates. I need to research it. I'm going to do this again and research it next time. I thought for sure that I would just be able to spontaneously find things here because I've found it in the past. I look through my comments and find it. I figured I'd picked a video, like I said, with 1,000 thumbs down, and I thought for sure, like I said, there's 7,000 thumbs up, but there's 1,000 thumbs down. I thought for sure I would get some nasty comments, more than I actually did. I just didn't. So at the same time, what could I say? I improvised. Went and slammed on the people that I usually slam on. So in any event, guys, I'm not going to drag this on any longer for you folks who have supported me. Thank you so much for doing so. I promise to bring you some really good quality content from Boca Chica and from Houston. It's going to be some fantastic stuff. So all I can say is until you can come up with a really good, solid, hardcore, nasty thing to say about me on the comments here, not encouraging all these viewers that I have right now to do it, but for those of you who truly hate me, and I know that there are people who do, until you can really come out and just go for it with gusto and don't hesitate for a minute, I urge all of you to stay angry about space.